Welcome to the Dynamics Podcast's Automated Release Notes reading for Wave 2 2022. In this episode, Dynamics 365 Finance. Disclaimer: this document has changes made by the Dynamics Podcast to better fit this format, and does not represent in full the release document. In doing so, some dates might have accidentally been changed. Please read the full release notes on dynamics.com for more details, images, and the full story. Thank you. Financial leaders and their organizations are continuing to adopt cloud financial systems as part of their digital transformation journey in the core part of their business, finance. Regardless of whether an organization is product-centric, service-centric, or is a diversified organization, moving users to value-added activities versus manual tasks, connecting data across systems, and having an application that supports changing business models and rapid adoption to economic changes are key to making effectively decisions that drive this transformation. To continue the success and growth of Dynamics 365 Finance, we will focus on delivering key enhancements that reflect the needs of delighting our existing customers. 1. Providing a full, comprehensive subscription billing solution to organizations engaging in recurring subscription revenue opportunities, including handling complex pricing, consumption, and milestone billing, managing large volume customer contracts, and automating the complexity around the financial impact of recurring revenue. 2. Enabling Power Finance users to have analytical insights into their financial and operating data using the preferred tool of choice, Excel or Power BI, by providing a financial analytical data model that is denormalized, reliable, scalable, and extensible. 3. Automate the reading and recognition of vendor invoices by providing OCR capabilities to complete the full end-to-end automation of accounts payable. By creating a continuous, intelligent automation solution with Azure Form Recognizer, AI Builder, and the Power Platform, Dynamics 365 Finance will create out-of-the-box vendor invoice models and a framework for continuous learning for invoice exceptions in an easily deployed, intuitive user experience. To run operations globally, businesses must meet complex, country-specific globalization requirements in the areas of tax compliance and adoption of local business practices. Currently, Microsoft offers globalization capabilities for Dynamics 365 Finance, supply chain management, project operations, and commerce that include low-code globalization services and out-of-the-box global content for 44 countries, extended by ISV solutions. In 2022 Wave 1, we continue to extend and enhance our globalization capabilities. 1. We will release Globalization Studio. Globalization Studio enhances the low-code tax compliance and globalization capabilities, and makes the globalization services and multi-country content available for any first and third-party app and extended with pre-built ISV connectors. 2. Globalization services in Globalization Studio, such as tax calculation and electronic invoicing, continue to be extended and enhanced. 3. We will also release a public preview of tax audit and reporting service as part of Globalization Studio. It will enhance and scale the existing tax audit and reporting content and capabilities of electronic reporting to the enterprise level. This service is an evolution of electronic reporting into a low-code microservice and leveraging capabilities of Azure Data Lake and Azure Synapse Analytics. 4. We continue to enhance the configurable business documents and electronic reporting offerings. 5. We will integrate the Russian fixed assets module with the asset management lifecycle and asset leasing. First topic: Core Financials. This release in Core Finance is focused on bringing additional enhancements to core financial functionality, including automation around end-to-end business processes, enhanced experiences around year-end close, analytical reporting using data in the data lake, and comprehensive subscription billing capacities that set organizations that are embracing the subscription economy up for success. New feature: New Vendor Invoice Management Experience. Public Preview, May 2022. This feature should significantly reduce the need to enter and process vendor invoices manually. This change largely improves usability and efficiency of the vendor invoice process. This new experience will provide a central place where vendor invoices will be created, displayed, edited, deleted, and posted. The new feature will merge existing vendor invoice applications into a single, comprehensive application. At the same time, the feature redefines the user interface to eliminate redundant menus and confusing actions. New feature: Vendor Invoice OCR Advanced Configurations for OCR Service. Public Preview, July 2022. With configuration settings, optical character recognition, OCR, data processing will be flexible enough to fulfill multiple business needs that customers have. This feature provides a list of configuration settings that include 1. Define mandatory fields of invoice data. Defines the minimal data required when creating vendor invoices. Microsoft provides a default setting, but you can tailor it to your organization's needs by adding or removing fields. 2. Define confidence score of invoice recognition. Defines the quality standard for invoice data to recognized by AI Builder. When the OCR process is finished, the system sends structured invoice data and the corresponding confidence score for each field on the invoice. You can configure the confidence scores to indicate differences in the severity of the errors that are detected. 3. Define mandatory review needed before invoice creation. Determines whether manual review is needed for each recognized invoice. New feature: Vendor Invoice OCR Deployment Wizard for Vendor Invoice OCR Integration. Public Preview, July 2022. This feature provides customers with an out-of-box optical character recognition (OCR) solution for vendor invoice processing that reduces the labor required for data entry and helps reduce errors that can occur when tasks are completed manually. To complete the end-to-end solution for vendor invoicing, an out-of-box solution is necessary for reading vendor invoices. This feature provides a step-by-step guide that lets users deploy the solution easily. New feature: Vendor Invoice OCR Vendor Invoice OCR Hub. Public Preview, July 2022. These features provide customers with a central place to track and process vendor invoice data that was entered through optical character recognition, OCR. Most invoice data will be processed automatically. This feature will save accounts payable clerks significant effort while reducing the risk of errors that can arise when completing tasks manually. The feature provides a central place to let recognized invoice data be validated and pre-processed before being converted to a vendor invoice in Dynamics 365 Finance. The staging area will accept any accuracy level of recognized data from AI Builder without regard to whether or not the invoice data is complete. The data can be enriched and validated automatically according to rules or even machine learning during the import process. It's also possible to review and edit invoices manually from the user interface. New feature: Vendor Invoice OCR Business Rules and Staging Area. Public Preview, August 2022. This feature gives users more flexibility than they've had previously for validating invoices according to rules that they define and that are optimal for their organizations. When the system recognizes invoice data that was imported using optical character recognition, OCR, there's not always enough data to create vendor invoice in Dynamics 365 Finance. Some information must be derived and validated, such as the legal entity, vendor account, among other things. The derivation and validation can differ significantly from one customer to another. This feature provides a framework that lets each customer define rules that are specific to their organization's needs. New feature: Enhancements around ledger settlements. General availability, April 2022. Reports and inquiries will use the settlement date, which provides an accurate picture of what is unsettled as of the reporting date. In addition, the year-end close and ledger settlement processes will be tightly integrated to ensure that only unsettled transactions are considered during the year-end close, providing correct beginning balances per transaction currency. This ensures that settled foreign currency transactions aren't included in the foreign currency revaluation process in the next fiscal year. Details for unsettled ledger transactions can also be maintained during the year-end close process, making it easier to settle the ledger in the next fiscal year. This feature includes the following enhancements. 1. Year-end close and ledger settlement process. 1A. The year-end close will only include unsettled transactions in the beginning balances. In addition, an organization can choose to keep transaction details for unsettled transactions for the main accounts identified for ledger settlement. Keeping transaction details allows for easier settlement of beginning balance transactions to transactions posted into the next fiscal year. 1B. Settlement can only be performed within a fiscal year to ensure consistency between the beginning balances and unsettled transactions. 1C. Settlement can only be performed for transactions posted to the same main account. 2. Reporting and inquiries. 2A. The unsettled transactions report will use the settlement date to determine which transactions are settled as of the to-date. 2B. The transactions for page, when opened from the trial balance list page, will use the settlement date to determine which transactions to display when choosing the option Show Unsettled Transactions Only. New feature, new button added to view settlement voucher. General availability, April 2022. The ability to view all the transactions in a settlement voucher with a single click can significantly increase efficiency when you're viewing or working with settlement history for vendors and/or customers. A new button, named Settlement Voucher, has been added to the vendor settlement history and customer settlement history pages. You can use the button to view all transactions in a settlement voucher one step. This feature is available by default and can save time when performing reconciliations when you try to view all the transactions in one settlement voucher. New feature, Post in Batch for Bill of Exchange related journals. General availability, April 2022. This feature lets you run the journal posting process in the background for all Bill of Exchange related journals, which in turn lets you continue working on other tasks in the system at the same time. All Bill of Exchange journals will now include a new button called Post in Batch. The journals that have the new button added include 1. Draw Bill of Exchange. 2. Remittance. 3. Settle Bill of Exchange. 4. Protest Bill of Exchange. 5. Redraw Bill of Exchange. You can click Post in Batch to start batch posting for each of these journals. New feature, Reverse Reconciled Advanced Bank Reconciliation. General availability, April 2022. This feature lets you reverse reconciled advanced bank reconciliation in a single step. When bank reconciliations are reconciled without new transactions or correction amounts, this feature enables the Reverse Reconciliation button on the Bank Reconciliation and Bank Reconciliation worksheet pages to reverse reconciliations. If a reconciliation, for example Reconciliation A, has following reconciliations, you must reverse, and then delete the following reconciliations before you can reverse Reconciliation A. Advanced bank reconciliations can't be reversed if new transactions or correction amounts exist in the reconciliation. New feature, Validate Vendor Bank Account before submitting vendor payment journal to workflow. General availability, April 2022. This feature saves time and frustration among your staff by letting you validate a vendor bank account before submitting a payment journal for that vendor to workflow. When there's an issue with a bank account that's used in a payment journal that has been submitted to workflow, the issue will stop the workflow process when the issue is encountered. When that happens, a member of your accounts payable staff must correct the issue and then resubmit the payment journal to workflow. Finding and fixing potential errors in advance can save time and help prevent the frustration that can arise. In earlier versions, you could submit a vendor payment journal to the workflow process even if the information for the vendor's bank account was incorrect. This feature lets you identify issues with the vendor's bank account before submitting the payment journal to workflow, thereby letting you correct the issue before it surfaces as an error during the workflow process. New feature, Allow Positive Asset Depreciation. Public preview, February 2022. General availability, April 2022. Allowing positive depreciation in a depreciation proposal lets your organization account for governmental funds that record the fund as an asset with negative value then depreciate that asset with positive depreciation. When you let the system calculate positive depreciation, the system will consider the negative book value of the asset and calculate positive depreciation as a debit entry. They allow net book value higher than acquisition price and allow negative net book value options will be available after the allow positive depreciation feature is enabled in the feature management workspace. New feature, new vendor invoice data entity for OCR integration. Public preview, February 2022. General availability, April 2022. Customers are increasingly using an optical character recognition, OCR, solution to import invoices into Dynamics FNO system. However, existing data entities for vendor invoice importing have limitations that include incomplete functionalities, data inconsistency, and poor performance. The new data entity aims at solving major issues and making it easier to consume invoice data. To ensure data consistency, the new invoice data entity will create vendor invoice as a whole instead of using different data entities to create pieces of information one by one, such as headers, lines, taxes, charges, and so on. If possible, invoices will be processed automatically during the import phase. That reduces the manual tasks that must be completed by accounts payable clerks to processing invoices with errors or exceptions. New parameters will be created for the new data entity to support process automation when invoices are imported. New feature, subscription billing, recurring contract billing. Public preview, February 2022. General availability, April 2022. Organizations often employ complex pricing and billing practices that can be difficult to manage. This feature allows greater control over billing per item and contract, lets you automate and evergreen renewals, enables flexible pricing models, and improves insight into recurring billing. Flexible billing lets you to consolidate invoices, which saves you time and lets you provide your customers with a complete and accurate invoice if there are multiple billing schedules. Organizations typically use a variety of methods to invoice their customers. Being able to invoice based on consumption, meter readings, or usage lets your organization use Dynamics 365 Finance to support your specific business processes. Pricing can be adjusted based on quantity to be invoiced. Recurring billing and price management allows greater control with management of pricing and billing parameters at the line item level. Contracts can be set up to have automated and evergreen renewals. The monthly recurring revenue report provides insight into recurring billing, which can help you forecast more accurately. You can consolidate invoices by customer if there are multiple billing schedules. You can also consolidate multiple billing schedule lines into a single billing line. Flexible pricing is critical to invoicing customers. Invoicing through subscription billing can be based on consumption, meter readings, or usage. For example, consumption can be entered manually or entered through entity import. Meter readings can be entered and used as the beginning reading for the next period. Invoices can be created based on usage with price tiers or pricing adjustments based on quantity to be invoiced. New feature, subscription billing, revenue allocation. Public preview, February 2022. General availability, April 2022. This feature assists with revenue compliance by letting you easily allocate revenue to items within contracts that have multiple performance obligations. By assigning default and standalone selling prices and methods to items, you can calculate the standalone selling price as a percentage of related items. You can allocate revenue based on these standalone prices to maintain compliance with accounting standards. New feature, subscription billing, revenue and expense deferrals. Public preview, February 2022. General availability, April 2022. Advanced revenue recognition lets you manage revenue in compliance with ASC 606 and IFRS 15 accounting standards. This feature will enable revenue recognition on document types beyond sales orders, allowing greater control of revenue. Managing deferrals at the line item level puts you in control of the revenue recognition process. Having an automatic process helps reduce mistakes that can creep in through manual processes and saves time. Advanced revenue recognition lets organizations eliminate manual processes or external systems by allowing users to manage revenue in one system. Real-time reporting provides insights into critical information, such as monthly recurring revenue. Once an item is set up as deferrable, the deferral schedule is created automatically when items are added. Templates can be predefined to create different types of deferral schedules, such as monthly, quarterly, or schedules that are based on specified dates. One process allows all current deferral schedules to be recognized quickly. New feature, financial tags. General availability, July 2022. Financial tags let organizations track user-defined fields on accounting entries posted to the general ledger, eliminating the need to create financial dimensions that contain values which are not reusable. Additional financial dimensions increase the size of an organization's chart of accounts, causing a negative impact on system performance during processes such as the year-end close. The financial tag values can be used for reporting purposes or ledger settlement. For example, you can create a financial tag to track payment references used for ledger settlements, making it easier to match transactions. An organization can define up to 15 financial tags, which will be stored on accounting entries posted to the general ledger. The financial tag names can be defined by the end user, giving clarity to data entry clerks about the data expected in each field. Financial tag values are not validated or entered by default. They can be entered manually on transactions, such as financial journals, or imported through transactional entities. New feature, General Ledger Year-End Enhancements, specify balance sheet dimensions and year-end close microservice. General availability, July 2022. This feature comprises a number of enhancements that improve performance during the year-end close process. The enhancements to the year-end close process include the following. 1. Lets you specify balance sheet financial dimensions in detail when you close a year. This functionality now parallels the capability that's available for profit and loss accounts. 2. Improves overall performance so that the year-end close process runs more efficiently. The following enhancements were added in the July 2021 release. 1. Moves the setup of the year-end closing templates to a new setup page. The existing year-end close page will change in a way that's similar to the general ledger foreign currency revaluation, where a list will indicate each of the times the year-end close has been run or reversed. An accounting manager can initiate the year-end close from the new page. 2. Lets accounting managers reverse a year-end close by selecting the most recent fiscal year and selecting the Reverse Year-End Close button. The reversal will delete the accounting entries for the previous year-end close, but won't rerun the year-end close automatically. 3. Requires voucher numbers when closing a year, where this was optional, based on a parameter setting in General Ledger, in previous versions. 4. Maintains the history and audit trail of previously closed years by company and year. New feature, Ledger Settlement Automation. General availability, August 2022. This feature saves time and labor costs by using the system to automatically match debit and credit transactions in the general ledger and marking them as settled. Your accounting staff no longer has to mark and settle the related transactions manually, allowing them to focus their activities on the areas that have the highest value for your organization. The ledger settlement process will be enhanced to reduce the number of manual steps through an automated settlement process. The ledger settlement automation process will run as a background process, based on rules that you specify. You can define the transaction selection criteria and create matching rules that are based on transaction attributes, such as financial tags and amounts. Additionally, you can define the frequency of the automated settlement, such as daily or monthly. Historical automation process information can be maintained. New topic, globalization. Note, there is new functionality regarding Russian support for asset management, which has been taken out in this podcast. For more information, please read the full release document. Now back to the release notes. In 2022 Wave 1, we continue to extend and enhance our globalization capabilities. We'll ship Globalization Studio, which is globalization as a service. It enhances the low-code tax compliance and globalization capabilities, and makes the globalization services and multi-country content available for any first-party and third-party application, and extended with pre-built ISV connectors. Globalization services in Globalization Studio continue to be extended and enhanced. This includes 1. Tax calculation. Enable multiple document tax calculations in one API call to increase the performance of tax calculation processing for customers with high volume of invoices in certain industries. A connector with one of the U.S. tax rate providers will be included. 2. Electronic invoicing. Provide a connector with one of the global e-invoicing service providers to deliver last-mile business-to-government integrations for some countries. Extend global coverage by enabling e-invoicing solution for non-Microsoft localized countries, and provide access to e-invoicing exchange frameworks. 3. Tax audit and reporting service. Preview will enhance and scale the existing tax audit and reporting content and capabilities of electronic reporting to the enterprise level. This service is an evolution of electronic reporting into a low-code microservice, and leveraging capabilities of Azure Data Lake and Azure Synapse Analytics. We continue to enhance the configurable business documents and electronic reporting offerings. Additionally, we will integrate the Russian fixed assets module with the asset management lifecycle and asset leasing. New feature, tax audit and reporting service. Public preview, September 2022. The service allows you to scale the existing tax audit and reporting content and capabilities of electronic reporting to the enterprise level. It leverages Microsoft Azure Data Lake, Azure Synapse Analytics, and other Azure technologies to enhance tax analysis and reporting and enable intelligent tax audit scenarios. The service also provides a low-code experience to build reports on top of the common tax audit and reporting data model, leveraging electronic reporting capabilities integrated as a microservice to Azure Data Lake and Azure Synapse Analytics. Leveraging our tax audit and reporting experience in 44 countries/regions with several hundred tax data submission formats, audit files, and reports, we have built a common tax audit and reporting data model hosted in an Azure Synapse workspace. While the model will be accessible by using Power BI and Microsoft Excel, we are providing a configurable electronic reporting microservice and several configurable tax, audit, and other regulatory report templates for multiple countries/regions. These templates are currently available in Dynamics 365 Finance as part of electronic reporting, and will also run in the tax audit and reporting service. The microservice provides a low-code experience to build and extend tax audit and regulatory reports on top of this common tax audit and reporting data model. This first release of the service provides enterprise-level tax validation, audit, analysis, and reporting capabilities, and enables enterprise-level scalability. Capabilities include 1. Ingestion of tax audit reporting data in finance into Azure Data Lake. 2. Transformation of the data into the tax declaration and tax audit data models accessible by using Power BI, Excel, and electronic reporting. 3. Low-code electronic reporting capabilities as a microservice integrated with Azure Data Lake and Azure Synapse Analytics. 4. Reusing the existing electronic reporting formats for tax audit and tax declarations in the service. This applies to both formats created by Microsoft as well as by partners and customers. There will be a limited scope of Microsoft formats available in this preview. New feature, tax calculation service/core tax inheriting origin tax information for reversal transactions. General availability, April 2022. This feature provides users with the option to inherit tax information, such as tax codes, rates, and amounts from the original transaction, or recalculate tax based on the latest tax setup. This feature can help users improve reconciliation accuracy in some scenarios. With this feature, reversal transactions can inherit tax information from the original document. Users can also trigger a recalculation to update the tax information on a reversal transaction. This feature supports the following transactions: 1. Sales order return order. 2. Sales order credit note. 3. Transfer order cancellation. This feature applies to the tax calculation service and the core tax engine. New feature, electronic reporting, order by function inquiries. Public preview, February 2022. General availability, April 2022. This feature significantly improves the performance of many electronic reporting configurations that are executed on large volumes of data, which require some specific order sorting. Electronic reporting users can choose query mode to execute the electronic reporting order by function. Selecting this function improves the performance for many electronic reporting configurations that are executed on large volumes of data that require specific order sorting. New feature, configurable business documents, business document management workspace integration with global repo. Public preview, February 2022. General availability, April 2022. Business users can download new business document templates or new versions of existing business document templates from one workspace. This feature provides users assigned to a specific role with new business document templates. These templates are stored on a new tab in the Business Document Management workspace. When you select to import the business document template, the system will open a tab with a list of templates applicable to your assigned user role. Only the list of templates for your assigned role is shown. The system doesn't download all the templates. After you select the documents and select Create Template, the selected templates are imported from the global repository, and your templates are created in the Business Document Management workspace. New feature, Tax Calculation Service accepting multiple documents in one API call. Public preview, April 2022. General availability, September 2022. This feature enables multiple document tax calculations in one API call to increase the performance of the tax calculation processing for customers with a high volume of invoices in certain industries. The tax calculation service can accept multiple taxable documents in one API call to improve the performance for batch importing scenario. The new API reduces network latency compared to a single taxable document API call by combing documents in one payload. Free text invoice will be the first transaction type to integrate with this new mode. We will roll out this mode to other transaction types based on market needs. New feature, Globalization Studio. Public preview, June 2022. General availability, April 2022. Globalization Studio is our low-code tax compliance and globalization platform with out-of-the-box multi-country content that provides tax compliance and globalization as a service. Globalization Studio enhances our low-code tax compliance and globalization capabilities and makes our low-code globalization services and multi-country content available to integrate with any first and third-party app and extended with pre-built ISV connectors. Globalization Studio is our low-code tax compliance and globalization platform with out-of-the-box multi-country content that provides tax compliance and globalization as a service. Globalization Studio is an evolution of our low-code regulatory configuration service, RCS, and provides the following enhanced capabilities. 1. Low-code designer for globalization content including tax rules, e-invoice formats, regulatory tax audit files and report templates, Office 365 templates for business documents, and payment formats. 2. Globalization content lifecycle management. 3. Out-of-the-box tax compliance and globalization content for 44 countries/regions and extending to more. This low-code multi-country content can be used as is or easily extended in Globalization Studio by non-developers of customers or partners to meet specific requirements of more countries/regions, states/cities, or industries/verticals. 4. Configuration and setup for tax calculation and electronic invoicing microservices and any future globalization microservices. Additionally, Globalization Studio provides globalization as a service to any first and third-party app and extends with pre-built ISV connectors. As an integration hub for globalization services, the Globalization Studio provides the following types of out-of-the-box connectors. 1. Connectors to Microsoft Globalization Services using Microsoft Power Platform and Dataverse to enable sharing globalization capabilities and content with any first and third-party applications. In the first release, we will ship 2. A tax calculation service connector. 3. An electronic invoicing service connector. 4. Connectors to ISV tax compliance and globalization solutions extending out-of-the-box tax compliance and globalization content and capabilities. In the first release, we will ship 5. An ISV solution connector that's embedded in the tax calculation microservice for U.S. sales tax and use tax rates. You can turn on the connector to get an ISV solution without any customized integration effort. 6. An ISV solution connector that's embedded in the electronic invoicing microservice. This connector delivers last-mile business-to-government integrations for some countries, extends global coverage by enabling e-invoicing solution for non-Microsoft localized countries, and provides access to e-invoicing exchange frameworks to route electronic invoices created by using the Globalization Studio. The Globalization Studio is the only tool to provide all of the low-code configuration and setup experience for any new globalization services, including the tax audit and reporting service that will be shipped in public preview in 2022 Wave 1 release. This concludes the reading of the release notes for Dynamics 365 2020 Wave 2. For more information, go to www.dynepodcast.com and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.